All right, welcome back, guys. We're the crew. This is the Keep It at 99 pod. I'm Coach T,
I'm 99 overall.
and Jimmy Butler is
Himothy.
100% Himmy Butler.
He's
100% Himmy Butler.
Himothy. He did it again. He did it again.
And I
Yes.
sent you I sent you an article this weekend, like on Bleacher Report, saying it's like what happened to playoff Jimmy. Such an exaggeration. Like I understand that he did not shoot very well in Game 6. I don't know how he shot in Game 5. But he was finding different ways, like we've always said, he was finding different ways to make plays on the court, whether he was hitting shots or not. And when he was missing his shots, he was finding ways to distribute the ball. He was working hard on rebounds. Almost had a triple double that game. And then he came out the seventh game and did what Jimmy Butler does. And also Caleb Martin is a freak right now.
Yeah, he is like we were talking about, it's like Jimmy Butler doesn't have to score 28 to be the best player on the court. He can go 3 for 20 and be the best player on the court because it's just so good at everything else on the basketball court. Um, so he's the perfect kind of superstar. He's this type of superstar where you can put a team like the team they have around him. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, I understand like you can go undrafted. Like Nikola Jokic was a second round pick. So, I mean, kind of got to debunk the fact that like you don't have to be a lottery pick to be good. If you're undrafted, Caleb Martin's obviously really good. The dude outscored Jaylen Brown in this series on nearly 50 less shots. I mean, it's incredible. Like he made 22 3-pointers this series. He's a good player, you know.
Yeah.
Max Strus is a good player, you know. The point guard they got, the
Vincent.
Gabriel, yeah, Vincent. He's a good player. Like they're all really good, and they're just, I don't know, man. Like they shoot the ball really well. They defend really well. They're a really good team, but Jimmy Butler's like that team has just really kind of molded into like a Jimmy. Like they all have kind of like become Jimmy Butler. Kind of developed his personality and his mentality, which has made them really good. So they all have chips on their shoulder. Um, but
Which we have to give a lot of that credit to Pat Riley. I mean, I think it's a good conversation to ask. It's a good question to ask. Where does he rank amongst those who have had success in the NBA? I mean, he's been to 3 NBA finals as a player, went to 10 NBA finals as a coach, and this is his sixth NBA final as the owner.
yeah, yeah, I definitely think he's number one. Only person that might be above him is Jerry West, who's you know basically, I mean, what did he go to 8 finals as a player? I'm not sure how many he coached. I don't even know if he ever coached. I think he was an executive the whole time, but like he built the Lakers, the Showtime Lakers. He built
Yeah.
the Suns when the Suns were 7 seconds or less. He built the Warriors that we see now. Like I think he's an advisor to the Kings. Like the Kings are starting to turn around. He's probably the best basketball mind, one of the most successful players, but or successful basketball, careers through and through. But Pat Riley is either number one or number two. I mean, the only person that could even possibly be ahead of him, in my opinion, is Jerry West,
The logo.
the logo.
Yeah, but
Um,
he never won one as a player. Doesn't
I
that
thought he
make
won
that?
one. I thought he won one.
Oh, he did. He won
Yeah,
one towards the end. You
yeah, I
know that
thought
he
he
didn't even want Magic Johnson?
really. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, that's what I only know that from watching the Showtime TV show on HBO, and it just showed that he did not want him. Like, he didn't want him
Really
at all. Yeah.
surprising. I think he was like the unequivocal best player coming out.
For some reason, I think that they drafted Magic behind Jerry West back
Really?
in
Wow.
terms of like I think he wanted someone else, and they went ahead and drafted Magic. Don't quote me on that. This is just based off of what I saw on a TV show.
Don't quote me on that. This is just shit I made up just now.
Yeah.
um, no, I mean, the Heat franchise for a long time now has been just incredibly successful. The last time an 8 seed made it to the finals, it was the Knicks in '99 who beat the Heat in the first round. The Heat were a 1 seed. So the Heat were a 1 seed, really good in the late '90s. They go through a period where they're not so great. They get Dwayne Wade, they're winning championships. They're still really competitive. They get LeBron, they're winning championships, going to the finals. They kind of go through a period where they're not as successful. They get Jimmy Butler, they're going to championships. It's like for 20 some odd years now, they've been like an upper echelon team with small periods in between where they just retool, rebuild. But it's like a year or two. It's not the Pistons, who were
Right.
dominant, who were basically really good from the late '80s. I don't know how good they were in the '90s and stuff, but I mean, you just consider like from '88 to 2008, you could say the Pistons were one of the best franchises, winning championships, in the late '80s, winning them in the early 2000s, and they have like not been. I think they made the playoffs a couple years ago with Blake Griffin when he was still kind of in his prime, but either way, been horrible for a long
And
time.
I think one of the craziest things is how successful the Heat have been in the past 20 years. And they
Yeah,
still barely, I still feel like they still quietly creep into the conversation of a great franchise, which is crazy
yeah,
because
yeah.
they consistently go. And like as a Mavs fan and having Dirt for so many years and then having Luca now, I've still only seen us go to two finals.
Yeah. I mean, they're up there, man. Like um, you've got. I mean, you can. I mean, let's just go last 20 years. I was about to say, not all time. Let's go last 20 years. Last 20 years, and if we're being honest, I mean, it's Spurs, it's
Lakers,
Lakers, it's Heat, it's
Warriors.
Warriors, it's Cavs. You got those Cavs in there because they've been to 5. It's not even Boston,
Yeah.
in my opinion. I mean, they might be on there, but they're lower.
What they only went to two. They only went to two when they had the big three. And
Yeah,
then
they've
they've
been
only
to
been to one since then.
yeah, they've been to 3. They've honestly probably only been to 3 in the last 30 years. Like,
Yeah.
um, they're really a franchise that has not been one of the best since 1970 or 1980. Sorry, Larry Bird. They were good.
So what does this say about Eric Spoelstra? Because I mean, he obviously won two with the big three that they had, and
Yeah,
then so he went to three, won two, and then in my mind, like maybe I just didn't know enough, but I'm thinking like what is he proven? Like he's had LeBron James, Bosh, and Wade all on one team, and he won two championships, went to three, but then he gets Jimmy Butler, goes to two finals within what 4 years, 3 years.
yeah. I mean, you could definitely say he underachieved with the big 3. He was a young coach at the time. He's a much better coach now. But yeah, like even when I was saying, like when they lost LeBron there for a period when they had Bosh, he was kind of battling that weird blood clot thing, and they really didn't have anyone. They were kind of Dwayne Wade was still kind of he wasn't nearly who he used to be, but like they were still like making it 8 seed type team. Like he's gotten better as a coach. Um, all time, I mean he's probably on a top 10 all time. I don't know if he's top 5 yet. But the crazy thing is, if he wins this championship, he jumps up so much.
Yeah, and talk about the all-time greatest piggyback um the piggyback participation award guy goes to Udonis Haslam.
Yeah. And dude, actually, yeah,
Obviously, early in his career, he was a good player,
yeah,
but I
he
mean,
was,
now it's he's just still chilling, just waiting to get another ring.
yeah, he's like a modern player coach. You don't really see him that much anymore. But like they used to be a lot more popular, like your player coaches, where they're still on the team, still active, and they're more of like a coach role. He's kind of that. He's been that probably for 6 years now.
Big,
I
good
think this
locker
is
room
it.
guy.
Yeah, I think this is it. But like he's going to set himself up to be a head coach one day or a front office guy.
Yeah.
Because he's been around ball so much, and people just vouch for him. I mean, people love Udonis Haslem. It's kind of like, remember James Jones, like the shooter that would kind of follow LeBron around.
Yeah. Yeah.
LeBron was like, he's one of my favorite teammates of all time, and the dude gets a front office job. I think with the Suns. Is he the Suns GM?
I have no idea where he is. No clue.
Quick Google.
While you're looking that up, how do you feel about the finals?
I mean, I'm it's refreshing to see some teams that, obviously we just talked about how successful the Heat have been, but like it's pretty refreshing to see like the Nuggets there and then an 8 seed there. Not your normal, juggernauts. Yeah, James Jones is the president of basketball operations for the Suns.
Damn.
All it took was LeBron saying, "Yeah, dude, he's one of the smartest guys I know."
Right.
I don't want to take anything away from him, but I'm gonna take everything away from him.
It's about who you know.
It's it's pretty cool. I mean, like 8 seed playing a team that's never been in the finals. It's kind of refreshing to see that. It's not the most exciting matchup. I don't think it's. I think it has the potential to be a not very competitive series.
Yeah. I want to say Nuggets in 6, but you never know. The Nuggets have always hit a brick wall at some point, but they may not. And you're still getting an inexperienced finals team versus a team that has a lot of experience in the finals. I mean,
Yeah,
even though Kyle Lowry doesn't play a whole lot, but it's an NBA champion. Jimmy Butler's going to his second one.
yeah.
And I guess they have a lot of inexperience too, but I mean, you have a coach that's been there a few times.
When you have Udonis Haslem and you have Bam and Max Strus and Duncan Robinson that were on those other teams, and maybe even Gabriel, like a lot of those guys were on the last team that made the finals. I think they have the better coach. They have the more clutch player. I just think that, like, I don't know, man. Like, again, I've been saying I've literally predicted Miami to lose every series this year. this
Yeah.
this postseason. But Boston's not very good on defense. They've been really bad all year on defense. Denver is pretty good on defense. Denver's had a pretty good run here in the postseason defensively. So we'll see. I still think Nikola Jokic is head and shoulders the best player on the court. Bam Adebayo is going to have a tough time. He's 6'9", and I think Jokic might have some monster games on him. Home court advantage in Denver's pretty good. So we'll see. I mean, I think Denver wins. I think Denver in 6. I'm gonna get Jimmy a couple. I think he'll get a couple. I just definitely don't want to see a sweep. I don't want to see the Nuggets come out and just be so good, and just dominate the Heat. But one thing, like, you got to give Heat credit. Like, the reason is, like, you can't count them out is I think 99% of teams that went up 3-0 and then lost game 6 the way they lost it had, like, 99% of teams would have came out a little defeated going into game 7 on the road. They came out and dominated.
Yeah.
They just got over it very quick. Very mentally tough team. So we'll see, man. I mean, I got Nuggets in 6. Home court, best player. Top to bottom, just a better roster. I like them a lot. But Himmy is Himmy.
I have a feeling they're going to go into Miami game 3, series tied 1-1. I don't know why I feel like Miami's going to be able to get one in Denver, which if they do, with the way that the finals is set up with 2-3-2, you got 3 straight games in Miami. And
They
then
do that. I don't know if that's the format anymore.
it's not. I had thought they changed it, but wasn't really sure, so I just ran with it.
It's actually 2-2-1-1-1.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah, the 2-2, the 2-3-2 was pretty good, pretty good format because like you
I
almost
liked it. I mean, I feel like it gives
you almost
like it
guaranteed a long series that way.
yeah. And I mean, in this way, I feel like the 2-3-2, it's still home. It's still the higher seeds advantage because you get
Oh
two
yeah.
games at home, and then you can obviously you have to go three straight away, but you end the series with two at home. But now you're giving the 7 seed, or you're giving the lower seed game 7 if it goes 7.
No. So it
Yeah,
goes
because
two at the higher seed, two at the lower seed, one at the higher seed, one at the lower seed, game 7 at the higher seed.
really
Yeah.
too high, too low,
One
one
high.
high, one low. Oh, I'm
Yeah,
dumb.
yeah. It's definitely could make it a series a lot quicker because like if Denver wins two at home, one on the road, and it's 3-1 and they get to go back home. It's like it's pretty tough. Um yeah,
Well,
I think I don't know. We'll see. I mean, whose legacy needs this more, Jokic or Jimmy Butler? Because
Jimmy.
I don't look at the Nuggets like I mean, I know that Jokic is still pretty young, but like I don't look at the Nuggets like a team that's I really don't think they're the beginning of a dynasty or nothing. I think they could always be pretty good. I mean, let's be real. Here was their road to the finals this year. And I mean, this is why you play good in the regular season. But they beat an 8 seed, they beat a 4 seed, they beat a 7 seed, and now they're playing an 8 seed. So that's going to be their road. So like, will they ever get a road like that again? Maybe, but I don't know if they're just the beginning of it. It's kind of feels kind of like Milwaukee and Giannis. Like where it's like you had a really good year, you have a lot of players on the roster that you may not have a year or two from now. Like, so like with that being said, you still think it's Jimmy Butler? I think it's Jimmy too, but
Yeah, I mean, because Jimmy's never going to get MVP. I mean, he may be back in the finals, but I mean, it's just been an incredible run for him. And I think Jokic could probably get another MVP. I wouldn't be surprised if he got it next year. And then I think he'll be back in the finals. And I don't know how much longer Jimmy's gonna have like playing at this level.
yeah,
Which I guess I would say Jimmy, just for the fact that he doesn't have a ring yet, and he doesn't have any MVP awards, and he probably won't get one other than conference finals MVP.
yeah. I think it's
Which
Jimmy. I think
I also want it for the storyline too of just the 8 seed taking down both 1 seeds and
yeah,
also losing the first game of the play-in.
yeah. They about lost that second one too, man. It was a tight game there late. Um, but yeah, I mean, I would say Jimmy too, but I think it's pretty close because I mean, Jokic is still young and he could follow the Dirk arc where like he loses his first finals, wins one later in his prime, like toward the back end of his prime on kind of like a miracle run type thing, historic run. So he could certainly do that. But like he's won the MVPs. People keep knocking him for not being a good playoff performer when he's actually an incredible playoff performer. Um, so like I think there is a lot of legacy here. Like if he doesn't win it and he loses to an 8 seed, and then he goes another 5 years without even making the finals, people are gonna be like, wow.
Yeah, yeah,
But
that's very true.
I think it's Jimmy. Jimmy needs it just for the fact that like it puts Jimmy in like a really rare kind of company when you talk about Jimmy like after he retires. It's gonna be like Jimmy Butler was good, you know, crazy good in the playoffs, had a lot of success in playoffs, and he won that championship as an 8 seed. He's like kind of puts him above the Reggie Millers and the you know
Mellows and
yeah above Melo and Vince Carter and people like that.
Charles. If y'all want some more players like that, I mean, y'all can just go back and watch the last episode and see our Keeping It 99.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I mean, I got Denver. You got the Heat. It's it'll probably be pretty good. I mean, you can't go wrong with the NBA Finals. It's better. It's gonna be better than the freaking it's the Cavs and the Warriors running it back year after year, and the Warriors just beating the brakes off of them. Like,
Yeah. And
so,
for the record, I think the Nuggets in 6, but I would like to see the Heat win.
so you switching up already. Yeah, Tyler
I
Hero.
said at the beginning. I said I think Nuggets in 6. Go back and watch the tape.
What about if Tyler Hero comes back?
I don't know.
Are they better without him?
It's kind of it's like it's you almost don't want to. It's just one of those things. Obviously, you want to throw them in, but do you? Like, would it
The
met?
ball, the ball moves really well. Like, I don't know if you want a guy to. Do you need him to go make shots? I mean,
You
surely
haven't
you
needed
need
him
him.
yet.
You haven't needed him yet. Yeah,
I mean, one playoff game he played in was in the play-in. They lost.
it's true. So where's D Hop going? That's it's gonna be the topic of discussion for. I would imagine it's not gonna be quick. He probably won't sign in the next day or two. It's gonna be a long process.
I don't know. Does he want money or does he want a championship? Because I think if he wants a championship, I'm thinking, why would he not go to the Chiefs? And
Yeah,
it kind of made me think earlier because they keep restructuring Patrick Mahomes' contract to sign these players, and it makes me think: did they do that strategically? Like, did that had to be part of the negotiation, saying, like, "Look, we're going to sign you to this, but we're going to use it as leverage to say, like, oh, Patrick keeps taking pay cuts to sign other guys. Maybe that's something that you would think free agents want to hear. Like, man, Patrick really cares about winning. Like, he's going to take money out of his paycheck to sign us.
yeah.
They keep
What
doing it.
he's really not even taking this. It's not really the pay cut he's taking. He's converting his like entire salary almost, or the maximum that he can, into a signing bonus, so that it doesn't count against the cap. But your signing bonus gets supposedly, from what I've seen, gets taxed harder. So he is losing a little bit of money, kind of, in a way. But yeah, he just keeps. I mean, they just that has become like the new like thing because it's a hard cap. People are just like turning salaries into bonuses and creating space. But so I would imagine they're gonna like do something to get rid of that in the next couple of years, especially if they sign D Hop. They're gonna be like, this isn't fair.
Yeah.
Any team can do it. I mean, any team can do that. They can manipulate the cap and signing bonuses and stuff like that. So
It's like,
yeah,
but how much money? Like, how much money do you need? Like,
500
Patrick
million.
Mahomes made 50 million last year. How much more
I
money
need
do you need, Patrick?
I need 500 million in 20s
All
paid
right.
out
Well,
in full. Yeah, I mean, you say that, but I also think there's a pride thing where it's like you don't want if you're Pat Mahomes, you don't want another quarterback making more than you, which would assume that that person's better than you. I think there's a pride thing. Like you hear guys be like, "I want to be the highest paid at this position because I'm the best at this position." It's like,
yeah, but I feel like a guy like Patrick Mahomes wouldn't even care because I mean everyone knows where he stands in terms of how good he is, and the fact that he's taking pay cuts just says I'm so much better than you that I'm already making all this money. I can take a pay cut. Like I don't need all this money. Like he's got to be making a shit ton of money in um endorsement deals and shit too.
yeah. I mean, that's what Tom Brady did for years. He was never the highest paid quarterback ever, and he was the best quarterback for 22 years.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah, I mean, if he wants to win, if he wants the best chance to win a championship, he goes to the Chiefs. I also saw that like the Cowboys and the Browns are high on his radar. I think that's a bad move. I mean, I understand wanting to play with Deshaun Watson because you've played with him before, but like again, do you want to have 1,400 yards receiving and go 10-6 or 10-7 or even worse and have really no chance at competing for a championship? Or do you want to have maybe 1,000 yards or a little less for the Chiefs or the Bills or whoever and have or the Chiefs, or the Bengals or any, 49ers or somebody, and have a lot better chance at winning a championship, at competing.
Well, he came out with a criteria. I'm not sure if you saw that. He asked for three things, which is like no shit. Said he wants a competent or a good front office, a great quarterback, and a great defense. It's like,
So
I
does everyone
mean,
else. Every
like,
player.
exactly. But I think the closest you're going to get to that is right now is probably the Bills.
Yeah, I mean that kind of sounds like he's describing the Bills because as good as the Chiefs are, I don't think Chiefs are. Even though their defense does play really well in the playoffs, they're not really known for like a great defense.
Right. But I think at that point, like, you're just asking to win, and the Chiefs have
Well, the
the
Chiefs are
history of that.
they have the best coach. You know, their offense is their defense a lot of times. I mean, when you can go down and score every freaking possession, it really changes the other team's game plan, makes defense a little easier for you. You know, so I don't know if he wants to win, go to the Chiefs. If you want to be my favorite player, then go to the Bills. You know,
Or just
like
come on home. Come on home to Carolina. Come
yeah.
back to where you started college ball.
How would
And
you feel about that?
possibly a great quarterback one day and actually have a pretty good defense.
How would you feel about that? How
I
much
feel
better?
great about that.
Give me your win total for the season if you get DeAndre Hopkins.
10 wins.
Really?
I think we could win 8 or 9 games this year.
Do you see how small Bryce Young looks?
Yeah, but have you seen? Yeah, he looks really small. He looks very, very tiny. But I still don't think he looks as small as, even though his frame is more slight, I still don't think he looks as small as Kyler Murray.
Yeah. It didn't help that he was taking snaps under center. Like Kyler Murray's never taken.
Yeah.
Like they never have Kyler Murray taking snap under center. He's legitimately taller than Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is like a legit 5'10", and like they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's 5'11" and 3/4, and it's like, no, he's not. He's really not. He might. He's barely 5'10", but
Yeah, I could see us getting 8 to 9 wins. I mean, I guess it's really just going to depend on how good Bryce plays, but we'll see.
yeah. Hey, well, you know what? Is that on your bucket list to see the Panthers win championship
It's
on your before
it's
death?
gotta be possibly
Let's not
top five.
let's not even call it a bucket list. Your before death list.
Yeah.
Something you want to happen before you die.
Yeah, that's something I want to happen before possibly tomorrow. So I mean, I think I know where you're going here. You
Where
trying
I'm
to keep it
going
nine and
is
nine.
I was going to keep it 99 with you. You know,
Let's keep it
I
nine and
know
nine.
he was down to for it, but I was going to keep it 99 with you. This weekend I went skydiving. It was fun, but you know, it's like I don't really remember none of it. I basically blacked out.
Yeah.
It was so much more terrifying than I even imagined it would be when I
Well,
jumped out.
you're falling to your possible death, not knowing if your parachute's going to come out or not. I'm glad it did.
The weird thing is, like, I didn't have. It's not that I had, like, I didn't. I had full confidence the parachute would come out. Like, I never really was like, what if it doesn't come out? You know, obviously it's kind of there, but like not really. It was just standing on the edge of the plane and just 14,000 feet high and just jumping was just absolutely fucking terrifying. Like I don't know. I don't even know how to. I just don't know how. I think it would take me so much to get over the fact that it's. I think it would take a lot before I like got the thrill versus that overrode the terror. I mean, it was like holy shit, and just jumped out of a plane.
But you would do it again.
I'm on the fence. On the fence. It would have to be like a group of my friends, you know, right after a divorce, right after my bank account went to zero,
Yeah.
right after they repossessed my car. You know, perfect storm. You know, I
Yeah.
might go jump out.
Right after I buy an airplane with the credit
Yeah,
card that I can't afford and just
yeah,
jump out by myself.
just me and my friends. You know, right after I write up a will. You know, now, yeah, I might do it again. I mean, it would have to be the right scenario. I don't know. It was fun, but it was like a fun. I'm glad I did it. Fun, Not like a
Yeah.
fun, like I gotta do it again. Cause I mean, legitimately just scared the fucking shit out of me. Like it was fucking terrifying.
Well, let's keep it 99. What's your is that your number one?
Of things. So we're doing things. So we're gonna do our top 5 things to do before dying, right?
Yes.
Things that we haven't done.
Yeah. Which
Okay.
obviously the listeners won't know what we haven't done, but
But I
things
just
we have
told
with things we've
them.
already done. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Just yeah. So okay. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it. I think I've got a good list of things that I just want to do. I mean, I've done a lot of traveling, but I'm not gonna be broad. I'm gonna go down to like things like specific places, I guess. So you want to start your number one things you want to do before you die? Your
You go
bucket
ahead.
list.
You go ahead.
Your before you die list. Um, kiss a girl.
You son of a bitch. That was my first one.
uh, things I want to do on my bucket list before I die. Probably like oh man, I would say. I mean, I was looking on like TikTok, like the like real authentic safaris, like in Zimbabwe, like the foot safaris. Um, like it's a little less. I don't want to say regulated, but like you're kind of it's not as structured, like you're not in an armored tank driving through there, like you're like in the wilderness, like maybe something like that. I think that'd be my number one.
Damn. That's very adventurous of you.
Yeah.
I think my number one's going to be somewhere in a safer place, possibly in the United States. And my number one's going to be go to a Super Bowl.
Okay. Okay.
I want to go to a Super Bowl so bad. That's like the one thing I haven't done. More specifically, a Super Bowl that Carolina's playing in, but I want to go to the Super Bowl. Something I've always wanted to do as a kid. It's just been way too expensive. And I think my number two would be uh retire a millionaire. That's definitely something I plan on doing before I die.
Yeah. Whack.
Yeah, I couldn't think of anything.
Um, yeah, bucket list would be maybe courtside seats at a NBA finals. Go number two. Um, we can't be that. You get a better. I think you get a better experience because courtside you're just so close to the athletes. So I'm going to go courtside NBA finals, and then I'm going to go number three. Give me something safe. Give me like give me a month long, not just a week. Give me one of the month long, you know, 10 country cruises.
Oh, yeah,
You
that's
know,
great. Have you ever been on a cruise?
I haven't. I mean, I
Got to
probably
go
should
on one.
start. Probably should. I've heard a lot of good things about cruises. A little bit of mixed bag, but mostly good.
All right. Well, my number three is going to be playing in the NBA All-Star Celebrity Game.
Right.
Big dreamer.
This boy over here is looking for fame and fortune.
Right. And fun, competitive. And plus, you can be okay. You can be an okay player in the celebrity game. I've seen some awful players.
Yeah.
My number four, be in a movie.
Really?
I want to be in a movie.
So these are things like if you don't do before you die, you're gonna have some regrets on your deathbed. Because
Yeah,
you like
I want to shoot. I
my
want to shoot. Yeah, it's what I want to do. Shooting for the stars. It's
really?
kind of things I want to do. Yeah.
I feel like on my deathbed, like the things I'm saying is like I might be like, man, I wish I would have just saved up and went to the NBA finals, courtside tickets.
Yeah, I guess more of things like like I could save money for a year and go to the NBA finals. Like I could easily do that.
Courtside?
Yeah, save up for a year.
What how you gonna eat? That's like a $30,000 ticket.
I'm gonna be that rich. I'm gonna be that rich. Throw it on my credit card.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. All right. Hey, to each their own. Um, let's see, number 4, things I want to do before I die. Yeah, I mean, I would really like to, and again, this is something like if I'm on my deathbed, I'm be like, man, I wish I would have done that. Would be to go to Japan. Really want to go to Japan. Probably doesn't mean as much to you because you live there.
Oh
Um,
no, it means a lot. I still want to go back, dude. It's
Loser.
one of the best places to ever go. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it's so far ahead of everybody. It's so clean and everything's like
yeah.
really.
Oh, I thought you were saying I'm so far ahead of everyone. I mean, you want to your dreams are beneath the things I've already done. Like I get it. Kind of want to
Yeah,
live my lifestyle. I'm just trying to climb the next level to the next lifestyle, but
yeah, loser. Um, Number 5, things to do before I die. Deathbed, deathbed. Gotta do it. Uh, um,
or who?
probably Machu Picchu. I actually really want to go to Machu Picchu.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Oh no, no, up, scratch it. Pyramids,
Yeah, we'll edit
pyramids.
that out. You
Yeah,
go to the pyramids.
let's go to the. Yeah, I want to go to the pyramids. Like if I'm on my deathbed, and I haven't been to the pyramids, I'm gonna be pretty disappointed in myself.
Take you to the one in Nashville.
Yeah,
I
I'll
think
go to
my
Cabela's before I die.
that's actually Bass Pro, but
Is it really?
yeah. Well,
Oh,
my last one is gonna be. Oh, I just had it in my head. Oh, I want to do a long, like week long trip in Europe, just hopping different countries. Something I should have done last year, but my passport expired. But yeah,
yeah, those. Hey, I'll tell you right now, that's something on my deathbed. I'm gonna say I'm glad I did without Tanner.
I don't know about that.
You're like, I'm glad he wasn't there. I had a good
Oh yeah,
time.
while you were doing that, I was actually on a cruise. Is that also on your bucket list? Yeah, that's what
No.
I thought.
Well, at least I know that I can achieve mine. You're never gonna be in an all-star game because no one likes you.
Do you think? A lot of people like my mom. My mom would vote for me. All right,
How many points you think you would score in an all-star game? Celebrity all-star game.
maybe 3. So I feel like I just sit around. I just sit around I play defense to sit around the 3-point line. I don't want to try to do nothing dumb and make myself look even worse than I should.
All right, if you're playing, you were talking about I thought you were gonna put something about the Masters on there. We were just talking about our golf trip, but if you played the Masters, just one round from 150 out every hole, what do you think you would shoot?
150 out. Oh, I think realistically, I'd probably shoot 20 over.
I think you would shoot 92 from
From
150 out.
150 yards out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm being pretty generous.
So dang. I think I'm shooting easily even par.
I'm just being realistic. I know, I think I get from 150 out, I can get pretty close to the green. I'm either going to be on the green or around it. And if I end up around it, I know from right now my chipping is going to send me to the other side of the green and I'm going to have to chip it again. So
Yeah.
if I were to get if I were to get 10 yards from the fringe and just putted it every single time, it's really hard. I may do better.
Yeah. I mean, like I'm gonna do really well on par fours because it's just like it's getting a bogey on a par three, basically. I'm gonna do pretty well on those. I'm gonna get a lot of birdies on par fives, maybe even an eagle or two.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
I'm just being real. I'm
and
just being real with myself. And not to mention that they're not necessarily the easiest greens either, or the easiest holes, even from 150 out.
no, but I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying. I mean, I might have a couple where I go, out of bounds, right? There's still a chance I go in some water or something or a sand trap. I think I'm shooting par.
We got to play Augusta someday. save up the money and play Augusta. Apparently the wait list is insane though.
Yeah. Yeah, we should put in right now to go play it 4 years from now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you're as famous as we plan on being, then we can probably play whenever we want.
Yeah, we just walk out.
Go
Walk
after
on.
hours with a headlamp.
All right, dude. It's good to
All right,
see you.
man.
I hate you.
Never good to see you. I hate you too. I hate you. Bye.
Why? 'Cause they love in the crowd.